Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Tuesday, and I believe it's January the 24th. And I had to make sure. Anyway, hope you had a great Monday. Hope you had a great start to this week. And Anyway, of course, as we get this day started, I guess you'd say Snowmageddon is up on us. And whether we get a lot of snow or not, we'll get through this, and I'm sure as we've been through, before, and the Lord will protect us. And anyway, hope that you're prepared to take advantage of the opportunities. Just be safe out there, when it does start snowing. And anyway, this morning I wanna share with you a devotional entitled "Keep Your Eyes on the Light." A common source of stress, is loss. There's lots of different things. You can lose, your job, you can lose your health, your money, your reputation, or a loved one. There's been several people that I know of have gone through that loss, of a loved one here in recent days. And when you add all the other challenges that you have in life, it just amplifies the stress. Probably most of us who've gone through a lot of these things. There are two common reactions though, to loss. One is fear, and the other is grief. But grief is good. Grief is the way that we get through the transitions of life. In fact, if you don't grieve, you get stuck. Grief, here's the deal: grief will not wreck you if you let it out. You have to let it out. Fear, on the other hand, can be a bad thing. Fear, not once in the Bible does it say, grieve not, sorrow not, weep not, or cry not. But it does say, fear not. And it says that 365 times. Grief doesn't paralyze us, but fear does. In Psalm 23, verse 4, David says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Now, David, he knew shepherds always carried a rod and a staff, to protect, their sheep. He knew God. He had the power to protect him, and so David, he trusted God. Even in the darkest of those valleys. Listen, if you're going through a dark valley and you're under a lot of stress, listen, you can choose to trust God. He is faithful. Even in the shadows, when things may not make sense, and where it can seem like a long way out of the valley. But you see, there's good news, to remember about those big scary shadows that we may be going through. Listen, here's the deal: you can't have a shadow without light. If you see a shadow, that means there is light shining nearby. When you're going through the valley of the shadow, the key is to turn your back on the shadow and to look at the light. Because you see, as long as you keep your eyes on the light, which what I'm getting at is Jesus, the light of the world, the shadow won't scare you. Listen, just like David, trust God in the dark valleys, and pray like he did in Psalm 142, verse 3. "When I am overwhelmed, you alone know the way I should turn." That's a good prayer for us to remember. The Psalms, there's many Psalms that are good for us to pray, and that's a really good one when you're going through one of those dark valleys and you feel overwhelmed. Listen, God alone can take away that fear in our lives, and that's what I pray, for all of us. whatever it is, whatever type valley we're going through, that we would, keep our focus on Jesus. If you've lost a loved one, you grieve over that, but don't fear, the things of this world, because God is here to help us, through the workings of the Holy Spirit in our lives, to comfort us and to get us through those dark valleys. And so anyway, hope that encourages you this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. As I said, be careful out there as the weather starts to come in. And remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.